Hey everyone, welcome to another installment of Fanfiction Friday. So as a lot of you have probably already heard, the Sonic movie is doing actually really well in theaters and it's had the best video game movie opening. So I thought, what better way to celebrate Sonic movie success than reading porn? Yes, I'm talking about Sonic fanfiction. The fanfiction known for being some of the craziest wackiness and oddly sexual. So this one in particular, some of you may or may not have heard of, but it's called Sonic's Ultimate Harem by Little Sonic. And we're starting straight at the beginning. Chapter 1 titled Rogue. I should definitely do like the voices as I'm reading through this. So right now Sonic is talking to Samus, so I guess this is like the Smash universe, because it sounds like Mario is also in this universe, so I guess all the video games. What kind of voice would Samus have? Oh snap, and of course she's hitting on him. Well, I was wondering if maybe you and me could go out for dinner tonight. Sonic's eyes flickered with surprise. Despite his past experiences, anytime he was asked out still came as a surprise to him, and then she realized he was in the exact same boat as she was. But was he? You mean as friends, right? Yeah, that's a good Sonic voice. Smiling, the hunter shook her head. Not quite, she began. I was thinking something more along the lines of, well, I think it should be obvious. Sonic's interest perked up at the exact time as his heart rate. You actually do want me to go on a date? If you're interested, of course, Samus quickly interjected, only continuing once she saw Sonic get into his thinking stance. Because if you don't, that's fine as well. Are you kidding me? Sonic said moments later, his lips curling into a smile. I'd love to! Is 8 o'clock a good time? Getting over the surprise and resisting every urge to squee, Samus nodded. Great to hear, the blur said right as he set his board back down. Well, I'll see you then. I have to get going. The day's still young, you know. A few seconds later, Sonic sped out the store and was once again back to boarding down the sidewalk at extremely high speeds, and would every now and again perform a trick or two, which would usually get a good reaction from crowds around him, even though he could just run. A little while later, the blur decided to slow down for the time being to enjoy his surroundings a bit more, and as soon as he did, his gaze soon snapped to a familiar, mustached man in red and blue. It's me! Sonic! Mario called right out as he started making a move towards the blur. They really call him the blur a lot, don't they? It's actually making me a bit uncomfortable. How's it going, my friend? It feels like it's been ages since I last saw you. I love how they add the detail of adding the Why am I having such a difficult time doing the Italian accent? Shouldn't it come natural to me? So, how's the life been for you, Sonic? Mario asked. So far, it's been spectacular. From traveling around the world to meeting and sharing smiles with new people and going on incredible new adventures. It's been all such a wonderful experience, Sonic answered truthfully. Same old Sonic. Always looking for adventure. So are you still as cocky as ever? What do you mean? I mean, have you still been doing things like toying with the enemies, throwing insults? Damn, Mario knows what's up. Nope, I stopped that a long time ago. Really? Why? Well, you see, Mario, one day I stopped and had a good long thought about what I've been doing with my life and found out that while I did a lot of good for the world, the way I was doing it was, for lack of a better term, reckless. And all I did was put more of my friends as well as innocents in the way of harm. Following that realization, I left a personal quest to see what others went through and used what I learned to become the calm, mature hedgehog you see before you now. Damn, Sonic got deep. And it was through this that I ended up what? Well, it's kind of a secret. The plumber's eyes widened a bit. Care to tell me? Beads of sweat started to roll down the blur's head right as he found himself torn between if he should cave into honesty or if he should come up with an excuse to get the plumber to stop asking. Relax, my speedy friend, Mario said, setting his hand down on Sonic's own. I promise I will not tell a single soul. Are you sure? Have I ever been untrustworthy? I'm kind of a player. You are a player, Sonic. Player 1. You're watching me read Sonic fanfiction. This is your fault. You see, by player I mean that I've actually been in, well, let's just call them private encounters with
tons of women.
Are you kidding me? Mario began, his finger raising towards his friend. You, Sonic the Hedgehog, you had sex with a crapload of women? Tell me, how many do you have exactly on your phone? His smile still showing, the Blur reached into his pocket and carefully pulled out his white Samsung Galaxy 3. Entered his wait, what pocket? Entered his list of contacts and started counting. After a few seconds of waiting, he smirked and turned his attention back to the plumber.
Well, I can't give the exact number away, but let's just say if you saw it, you'd probably have a heart attack. Now let's see, who did I sleep with first?
For a number of seconds, the hog tapped his chin, trying his best to recall the first in what was an incredibly long list of women.
I slept with... No, that's not it. It began with an R. It was, oh, I get it now. The one I slept with was Rogue.
Mario's eyes snapped open so fast, it was almost like as if he saw a ghost.
What?
Sonic, you're not referring to...
Oh, yes. I'm referring to the Southern Beauty from X-Men. What? What?
Marvel characters exist in this universe? What? Why is she... He's a hedgehog! And to add further fuel to this fire, she's a dating Gambit!
Look, Mario, I know you're shocked about this. Hell, you're probably wondering how I'm still alive right now. The two of us kept it a secret. And plus, this was during a very rocky time in their relationship.
I get it. So they weren't necessarily friendly with one another when you two did this?
Exactly, Sonic said with a nod.
So now we're getting a flashback of this sex scene. To answer the question, how did Sonic survive? Why do we have all this prologue to the sex scene? Oh, I guess I should do a Rogue voice too. Don't lie to me, I know exactly what I saw. Rogue began, her voice full of protest. I saw you openly kissing Storm. Oh shit. I mean, I guess Storm is pretty hot if we're gonna be real here. The hog was sprawled out on the bed, resting ever so peacefully. He had kicked off his shoes and used the power of chaos to set them rather neatly down at the wall next to the door. However, all of it was about to change when someone crept into the room, carefully laid next to the Blur, and once they were sure he wasn't going to wake, they started twirling their finger in neat circles on his chest. Eventually, after a few seconds, the Blur groaned softly and let out a groggy breath as his eyes slowly pried themselves open, with his mind full of wonder about who or what would want to interrupt his peaceful slumber. Hey there, sugar, Rogue greeted. Immediately, Sonic's defenses kicked into high gear right as his eyes shot wide open, followed by the motion of him scooting back just a bit, which caused him to fall flat on his ass on the polished floors.
What the hell? Rogue! What are you doing here?
Sorry about that. I didn't mean to ruin your nap. I heard a bunch of footsteps during an ordeal I had because of what happened during that. I just thought I'd come and find you.
Oh, well that's nice of you. Yeah, there's no other intention there. Look, Rogue, I appreciate you wanting to keep me company, but all I have to ask is just... why?
That's a question I ask very often. So she's like going to flirt with him in order to get back at Gambit?
Hey, it's okay. I'm sorry to hear that happened to you.
Sonic comforted.
Don't let Remy get you down. What he did was terrible, sure, but remember, you've got a whole group of friends who love and respect you. You don't need Remy to make you happy. And I'm sure that no matter who the member is, they'd be willing to do whatever they can to show that you're valued.
Thanks, Sonic. That's just what I needed, Rogue said with a small smile.
No problem. Helping others is what I do.
If we're to speed up the process, I think I need something more to help me make me feel a little bit better. The comforting was nice, but I could use something more.
Like what? A kiss?
Sonic asked jokingly. Rogue smiled, but she did not give an answer. Or at least he did not get it vocally.
Rogue, what are you doing?
Sonic asked. Why do you sound so afraid?
Why wouldn't I be? One moment you're clearly depressed and yearning for comfort, and the next moment you're straddling me.
Alright, so they start making out. Now that was possibly the sweetest, most tender kiss I've ever had. Way better than Gambit.
For you it was, Sonic said breathlessly. Forgive me for not sounding so enthused, but I'm not exactly most appreciative of nearly getting suffocated to death.
Wait, so the reason why... The reason Rogue gives why it's fine is because he's just not used to it? So nice watched as the girl froze in place, with the only part that moved being her eyes, which shot towards his rather uncomfortable bulge in his pants. What pants? She wasted no time and proceeded to undo the buttons and zipper of the cargo pants, and after a few more seconds, she finally unveiled his 9.5-inch pride and joy. 9.5? You couldn't go all the way for the 10-inch? I guess little Sonic thought, oh, well, 10, that's too much. That's a little bit too unbelievable. Let's go 9.5. Oh my gosh, this lasts for so long. And what do you think Sonic says as he's finishing up? He just goes, fuck. Alright, they're all done. It's all over, guys. No, wait, no, it's not. They're doing it again. They're going at it again. What's with this dialogue?
Chaos energy, Sonic explained. One of the techniques you can learn once you master it is an ability that negates most, if not all, powers that take away your own. It's kind of like having a force field. Well, Sonic began, I think it's time for me to take a nap.
Wait, Rogue commanded, before you doze off. I was wondering, do you want my phone number?
Alright, Sonic said, confused. What's it for, though?
Well, it could be for anything, really, Sugar, Rogue began. You can use it to call me for help in taking down a villain, if you need me for whenever you're feeling down, or... The gal leaned down and lowered her tone in a seductive whisper. You can use it to set up events like this again. Whether it was due to his hormones still acting up or him really enjoying the sex, the blur had smiled.
In that case, I'd especially love your number. You thinking what I'm thinking? Sonic asked.
Oh yes, Rogue said with a nod. So what do you say, Sugar? Want to go another round? Without hesitation, Sonic had shifted his position to where he was on top of the girl. You were just saying you would take a nap! What is this guy made out of? Okay, so that was Sonic's ultimate harem. What other characters they got? Rogue Riku? What? There's a Riku one? There's a Madeline Fenton one? We're crossing over to Danny Phantom? Starfire? He did Starfire? Alright, some of these I don't know who they are. April O'Neil! He did Harley Quinn. Oh, of course he did. Anyway, guys, that has been Fanfiction Friday. I'm gonna go take a long shower.